Look at her. How are you?
I'm good, babe. How are you?
Good.
This fly. What's this? I'm not like the rest.
I'm not like the rest. You know
That's dope. Little bucket hat situation.
Big buckets.
Hold up. What's that?
The water downstairs. The sparkling waters we got.
Oh, it looked like a drink.
Nah, ain't nothing in this. 0 sugar, 0 calories, 0.
Zero is the hero.
Well. What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
How y'all doing?
Welcome back to Coolin with them Colemans.
Yeah.
We are Coolin and Coleman in a crazy kind of world. I'm glad I got my girl.
Keep your head up.
What?
Keep your head up.
That's right.
Whatever. Lord, I need to learn the words.
So look, we are talking about wedding planning cooling with them Colemans. Our top 5 things that we learned when we was planning our wedding, when we got engaged, and things that helped us get to M-I-A-Yo.
Listen, a lot of y'all got engaged over the holiday break, and so we wanted to come to y'all and give y'all some ideas and just a few tips that'll help you get through this thing smoothly. Because there's some things I learned that he actually wanted to be a part of when we were getting married. That when you were,
she wasn't ready for it.
I wasn't ready.
She wasn't ready for a man to want to take part in his own wedding.
Because everybody was like, usually men don't want to. I kind of knew that you wanted to because you had an opinion about where we got married before we even got engaged. But I didn't expect it. So, we learned some things along the way that we can help things go smoothly with y'all, because you do not want to have no friction and extra stress while you're preparing for what's supposed to be a friction. But unnecessary if you can kind of get ahead of it. You know what I mean?
Y'all gonna have some friction. And we had that moment, you know what I mean? Not even realizing that it came to fruition. And so out of sight, but I thought about that. However, I want to go back.
Okay.
Because she said something. You said you wasn't expecting for me to want to be involved in the process.
No.
So expound upon that.
So, like a lot of women, the wedding many times falls on the woman, like in movies and other things like that. And I had been in a lot of weddings before we got engaged. And a lot of those decisions fell on the bride. Like, what colors do you want? What type of music do you want? Where do you want the wedding to be? All of that stuff kind of fell on the bride. So I came into the wedding planning process thinking that it was going to all be my decisions. Now, did I necessarily wanted to hog all those decisions? No, but I just kind of expected that those would be my decisions to make. Okay. So when it came around
you had an expectation.
I had an expectation
that I was gonna be out the way.
Yeah, you was just gonna be like, whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So when I started making decisions without him, and he found out about the decisions, he was like, hold up, stop the press. No, I got an opinion. And I was like, at first I was just like, why are you tripping? Why it's not a big deal. But for him, and I should have known this, because in the past, Los has always told me that he wanted to be married and that he looked forward to that wedding day. So I should have thought, maybe he have an opinion. So
I don't even thinking about what you should have thought. You know what I mean? I think it was just
got caught up
at that time where we had to come to agreements, right?
Yeah.
And I think in the process of getting engaged, in the process of me asking you and all of those different things and getting to that point where we planning a wedding, I had thoughts about what I would like for my wedding to look like. You know what I mean? Sans knowing who my wife would be at that time. But because I did desire to be married, I desired to be in a relationship. And I wanted to have a cool ass wedding at the end of the day. I didn't want to have no lame, boring wedding. So meeting you and us falling in love and having that moment and finally getting engaged, and yeah, we gonna vibe like that. You know what I mean? It made for the moments of you seeing, oh, he really want to be involved, and having to sit with that for a bit, because there was some decisions she wanted to have that I was like,
I don't even remember exactly what it was. Was it over food?
Nah, your biggest decision was wanting to have KJ and them walk down the aisle with me and say, "Here comes the bride."
FOE. I don't even remember that. I for some reason I feel like it was like a food thing.
Walking down the aisle, right? And you wanted them to carry a sign saying, "Here comes your bride."
Mm-hmm. To come to you.
You wanted
before I came out.
Yeah, you wanted them to walk up the aisle with the sign during the processional, and I didn't want that.
You didn't want kids in the wedding, period.
At all.
And I at the time, this was almost 10 years ago, I had young nieces and nephews. I ain't had no nieces at the time. I had young nephews. So I think I want
continuity.
I know it was the word. That wasn't the word. Wedding looked and the vibe of the wedding, a lot of those decisions were left up to the women. I mean, when it came to like big things like location and stuff like that, I saw a couple share that, but it was the little details that I saw a lot of the brides making those decisions. And in movies, and I'm a big rom-com fan. A lot of the women, don't laugh at me, a lot of the brides make those decisions about little things. But so do you feel like it took away your fairy tale with me having wanted to have a say? No, I don't feel like it took away my fairy tale. It just came as a little jolt, I will say, to be honest. Like, oh, you want to make that decision too? Okay. Cool. All right. It was about us making decisions, And I was learning in that process that's a lot of times where your decision making together begins is the wedding planning process, right? Yeah. And I thought that was a good step starting point for us to be able to make decisions together. We were making financial decisions together. We were making decisions about our family together. We were making decisions about something that will go on in like history, our children, our grandchildren. I mean, I think it was see this. It was they would see it. They gonna see it. They gonna look at the video. They gonna see the photography, the book. I mean, yeah, you right about that. They gonna hear the story. I ain't think about it like that. I'm thinking deep about it. You know what I'm saying? Like now it's like, oh, we made that decision together, and I feel like we also brought out our strong points and our strong, parts about the wedding too. I think for me, at that time, we had a great time planning our wedding. For me, I did. Like, I think we learned a lot about each other in during that time, because we really took the time. When you say you had a jolt, it was a little jarring for you, for me to want to be a part of that, and for me it was just like, I'm not gonna not be a part of my own wedding. Like I'm getting married to you as well. It makes sense now. That was just the it's not just we're getting I think it's the newness. You young and you just feeling like, and you're right. Social norms says the guy pays and just stands off to the side and whatever she want. And so for me, it wasn't like that. I think, because you absolutely opened my eyes to certain things about getting married that I didn't even know. You know what I mean? When we started to make some of the decisions, or you hearing my ideas, like, well, okay, well, you're really supposed to get married where the woman is. I didn't know that. I was very, you know what I mean? That was that took that, because we started talking about that before we even got engaged. Yeah, that's okay. It was a conversation, but I didn't know that. Yeah, so those are things that I didn't know about, as technical things that are supposed to happen when you getting married and stuff like that. I just knew I wanted to have a destination wedding. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to go somewhere. I wanted to have black sand. You know what I mean? That was my thought process, and wherever that was gonna be at, that's where we were going.
whoever I was getting married to, that's what it was gonna look like because I wanted to be by water. I love water. So the fact that you being from Florida and having to go by the water and things of that nature, it was a dream come true and a blessing all in itself. But the meshing of that, those first decisions within our relationship, it made for a real good time of planning and
a whole like 14 months. Traveling back and forth to Miami and everything. So
and we was at each other too because there was moments where she wasn't feeling what I was feeling and vice versa. But you compromise, you know what I mean? And I think the cool thing about our relationship at that time was that we saw each other's friend groups, you know what I mean? We were in and out of each other's friend groups that were 10 years in the making before we ever got to each other, before we ever met each other. We got a chance to see those different nuances when we got engaged and really wanting to bring all of me to the table and all of her to the table and putting that thing in a basket and shaking it up and throwing it out there for it to be something beautiful. So here we go, man. It's a lot we've been talking about, you know what I mean, already. But we got 5 things that we just want to say that was true to us when we were engaged. And for any new couples out there that are newly engaged, there's been a lot of folk out there over the Christmas break.
Y'all been getting rings on it, putting rings on it.
Getting blanged out, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to go ahead and jump this thing off, man. Let me see. Number 1 for me when it came to wedding planning was really listening to the desires of your partner's heart.
That's a good one, babe.
Like really listening to the desires of your heart and in that seeing where it meshed and lined up because you wanted her day and I wanted her day to be as special as possible. And we all do. And if you are a brother like myself who wanted to have some input into your marriage and input and some say-so into how your wedding day is going to look, I think vice versa, that it would help for women to really take a moment if you're one of those that says or have thought about, well, my husband ain't really supposed to say nothing about it. This is my wedding. I beg to differ.
Yeah, that my wedding thing is a little antiquated.
That's y'all wedding.
It's our wedding.
It's our wedding.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that because it's not your wedding if it don't show pieces of you and pieces of me. And I believe we were able to accomplish that with the songs that were played, with the suits that your guys wore, the style that we had, the activities that we created for that weekend for our family, like being able to come to the table together and think about those things, because there was some things you came up with that I wouldn't have thought about, that I was like, I'm so happy we did that.
Because I'm a fly motherfucker.
Yeah, you is. That's why I married your ass. Do you know that?
I do now because you telling me right here.
Boy, bye.
I swear I'm sitting. I swear I'm sitting right here.
I'm not that.
I am sitting.
Anyway,
right here.
I think that's a good one, because a lot of times people are getting married, getting engaged, and they are still in 2023 have that antiquated thought that this is my wedding as the woman, and this is y'all's wedding because you are preparing for y'all's marriage, and you can't be in y'all's marriage talking about this is my marriage. So the planning of the wedding is the time to start compromising and figuring things and listening to each
listening
other.
To your partner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, number two. The number 2 thing that I think is very important when you're preparing for your wedding is to get a wedding planner.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's one of the first things after we got a date that, actually, we had a date the night we got married.
Don't let it be your cousin.
Engaged.
Unless your cousin is a true planner, like somebody.
Certified.
Don't let it be your stepsister's brother, uncle, cousin. Listen. Get a wedding planner.
Get a wedding planner. It's the best decision that you'll ever make when you're getting ready for your wedding.
Get a wedding planner.
That's all we can say. Look, the first thing I did was I was like, man, we need a wedding planner.
Yeah, I was with that. I was on board.
He was immediately like, we ain't had no discussions about that.
Aye, aye, Captain.
called homegirl Jessica from FAMU. She was killing it down in Miami, which is where we decided to go.
Wedding planner.
She really made it smooth because we're in LA. Our wedding was in Miami. She's in Miami, and she put together all of our vendors. She was able to tell us, like, this is what I did. I used this place for my wedding. You know, she had personal.
She had it lined up.
She had it lined up for us, like, killed it. She even made suggestions of things that we didn't even think about doing, like the bus. That came from Jessica.
So, was the bus? It was.
That was
Jessica
her idea. She was like, wow, because we were trying to figure it out.
Hold on. No, you giving them too much already. Hold on. What? So number three, get a wedding planner. Nah,
that's 2, babe.
Nah, number 2. I'm finna go into 3. Nah, but she had the bus.
Yeah, she was
did
like,
tell us
the
bus. Hey.
See, a good wedding planner will help you come up with some things, some ideas that you don't even think about that will last for a lifetime when you think about the experience that you're trying to create for your friends and your family. It was good. The bus. What you laughing
at? I just love you. You're so cute.
I know that for sure.
I love my Southern girl, man. That's all. That's what I'm laughing at. A wedding planner for real, man. Like, fellas, ladies, whomever, if y'all are arguing or going back and forth or having a should we or shouldn't we, yes, you should get a wedding planner.
No questions asked.
That person is going to take so much stress off your life. And that way, we were able to enjoy each other, honestly, in our engagement more because we had somebody helping us. We had somebody on our side that was boots on the ground, especially if you decide to do a destination wedding in the ways in which we did. And so
she had so much taken care of, like, and we had more clarity to think about the things that we really, really wanted to do, like guest lists and things like that a wedding planner can't do for you. You got to come up with your guest list. So we didn't have to worry about that other stuff.
When it comes to the guest list. Number 3. If you don't want to take them out to dinner,
and spend,
don't invite them to your wedding.
Yes.
There's a number that they put on it. I'm not worried about no number. You know what I'm saying? Number 3 for me is just, if you don't want to take them out to dinner and you don't want to pay for the bill and you don't want to cover all of their drinks and whatever, don't invite them to your wedding. Even if they feel like they supposed to be at your wedding.
Because there's a lot of people who think they're supposed to be.
A lot of people feel like they are supposed to be at your wedding. Sans invitation or in the conversation.
Yeah.
And not to be mean, not to be crass, not to be none of that. However, it's your wedding.
Yeah.
Right? And you shouldn't be made to feel bad about who you do or who you don't invite. And our wedding planner gave us that advice. Piggybacking off number 2. She really gave us that advice to say, you know, if you're not willing to take, even if they're your friends and they may be cool with you when it comes to your wedding, this is a special day where you really wanting to share this with your friends, your family, the closest of your people that have been around you, have been involved in your relationship, have seen y'all grow and seen y'all come through transitions and make it through different levels and different ways. And so it was a real simple thought, but it made a lot of sense. If y'all ain't willing to take them out to dinner and foot the bill, don't invite them to your wedding. Don't invite them
to your wedding, because that's exactly what you're doing when you invite them to your wedding. You're footing the bill on an open bar or whatever it is you decide to do. You're footing the bill for that. So if you're not going to do it in regular life, don't do it on the most special day of your life together that you're starting off together. Yeah.
It's okay. It'll be cool. They'll be
all right. You know, and if they don't come back around after the engagement and the wedding, then they weren't really in your life. Anyway. You know what I'm saying? I ain't being invited to a whole bunch of weddings. And it's all good. Because usually if somebody don't invite you to your wedding, you know you ain't supposed to be invited to their wedding anyway.
I don't really care though.
No, but seriously, like, if I have so many people that I've come across, like going to FAM and then Delta and all these things. It's so many weddings that I haven't been invited to. But it's all good because I know that our relationship wasn't on the level of being invited to their wedding. And that's why I'm saying people know that just as much as you know that.
Also,
sometimes people just want to go to a popular wedding.
That's true too.
Mm-hmm. And a popular destination.
Because ours was on the, hey, we said save the weekend. We didn't.
Sure did.
We didn't say save the date. We said save the weekend. And when I tell you the weekend was a weekend starting on Thursday, culminating on Sunday.
Yes, Lord. What a great
save
weekend.
the weekend.
I want to go back. We need to do it again.
All right, what's your number 4?
Number 4, set a budget and try to stick to it. Set a budget for real.
That's real.
And try to stick to it, because when it comes to weddings, you're going to see everything. You're going to be on Pinterest, Instagram, Google. You're going to see all these things that are going to give you ideas about, oh, I want to do that. I want to do that. And all of a sudden, that budget you set becomes increased because you've added all these different things to it, because you start, it's just almost like what you focus on expands or you attract. So now that you're engaged and it's time to get married, you're going to see everything that has to do with wedding stuff coming across your timeline. People going to be talking to you about it, and you're going to start getting these ideas of things that you want to do. And those things come with a price tag. So you have to be disciplined when it comes to your wedding planning to say, we set this particular budget and we're going to stick to it. Did we stick to it? I don't think we stuck to it.
As much as possible.
As much as we did, we didn't go crazy.
I mean, listen, I was not trying to impress nobody. So, however, we wanted to have some fly stuff for ourselves that would allow everybody in our wedding to enjoy themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And so we chose a budget that could allow us to do that, and we stuck to the budget. We only went over the budget maybe 5, if that. You know what I mean? So it wasn't by a lot, but that could be a lot depending on, what you have.
Mm-hmm.
So let your budget also be your budget.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whatever the budget is yours, if it's your budget, let your budget be your budget, and don't try to impress anybody. Allow it to be what's yours. Allow it to be able to invite the people that you can invite. You know what I mean? And even if you're not able to do the extravagant wedding, you know what I mean, that you desire at one point, you can do something different. It's so many creative ways.
It really is.
To put yourself in the space and to feel like you having the day that you and your husband or you and your fiance want to have.
Yeah.
And so don't impress nobody, man. Set you a great budget.
No, it's definitely not about impressing nobody, because at the end of the day, y'all have to live
after that wedding.
After the wedding. And what you don't want is a whole bunch of credit card bills and all of this stuff that now we can't even.
The wedding ain't really for you no way.
It's for
the ceremony is for you.
Right.
Let me get y'all some game right now.
Give it to him back. I'm listening.
Y'all see what I have to deal with on the regular. Like, if extra was in a bottle and then stuffed on the shelf, it would be Katara out 15.
I'm a Sagittarius. You knew that when you met me.
Ceremony is about you, absolutely. But everything else is about your guests, your family, and your friends. And we really took that to heart. We really took that to heart in so many different ways. And I think that even to this day, they still talking about it.
They are. A lot of people say
the best wedding they ever came to.
And I think that's because we did put thought into what type of experience the people who, because, okay, yeah, we're paying for drinks and food and all of that stuff, but you have to think about your guests who are buying flights, who are booking hotel rooms, rental cars, taking time off of work, buying outfits to come to your wedding because you said dress a certain kind of way. Like, all these things, they're also putting a lot of money, time, and effort into making your day special and being there. So I think it's only right that you put that type of time and effort into making sure their experience during that time is memorable as well. Mm-hmm. So, and I think we were able to do that.
I think we were.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I got number 5, huh?
Yep, it's on you.
One of the best things I learned during our engagement. Enjoy every minute of it. Because it goes by so fast. You plan and you plan and you plan and you plan, and you can sometimes miss the beautiful parts of being engaged, the beautiful parts of meshing your worlds together, the beautiful parts of seeing the things that make her happy, seeing the things that light up on her face when she's talking about who's going to be in her wedding, or when she's talking about who's going to be a part of the bridal party. All of those moments are beautiful moments and special moments, and so enjoy it. Enjoy every moment of that process, because you, like she said at the beginning, are really learning each other and how to work together in a lot of different ways for such a big occasion. Outside maybe just celebrating each other for birthdays and Valentine's while y'all dating and stuff, but where you're meshing yourselves and your lives before God and your family like that, you know, it's something to really cherish. And I think we had a great time in cherishing it, because we got a chance to go down to Miami a couple times, a few times actually, to meet a lot of our vendors, to put names with faces and put handshakes, and so that gave us a lot of time to really talk and communicate about just life, about what we were walking into and what we were going into, and what we were going into was a weekend of wanting to just live it up. And boy, did we. So yeah, really enjoy those moments. Enjoy the space. Yeah. Enjoy the time of engagement with your partner.
Yeah. Be engaged.
Be engaged. Yeah.
With your partner.
Yeah.
Don't be so caught up in, oh, gotta plan this and plan that you miss those moments.
Be
together.
engaged.
Be engaged.
Literally be engaged with each other. You know what I mean? And fellas, if you want to be a part of your planning, you know what I mean? Go to your lady, be like, "Hey, I got some thoughts." Ladies,
be open.
Yeah, just be open to hearing each other throughout that whole process. Cool.
Peace out.